What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Awesemo.com coming to you with my 3 plays for today over on Jock Market. If you haven't had a chance to play over there, it's a really fun site where they've turned fantasy sports into the stock exchange. Deposit using promo code Awesemo. Get $100 free first match deposit bonus plus first market guarantee. If this is your first time checking out their product, you get $100 refunded on any losses you might have in that first market you play in either NBA or NFL. But don't wait that long. Play some NBA here with us. Now, let's get to my picks for today. All right, guys. We've got, right off the bat, one of the crazier slates that I've seen in a very, very long time. And I know that seems to be the new narrative every time a slate pops up this time of year, but this is true. We've got tons of news in OKC and Boston and Golden State, and we have so many shorthanded teams. And that entire late night hammer of Portland OKC could just be a value fest. But for Jock Market purposes, we are only worried about investing in players relative to the way other people view those players. And that's where I think Isaiah Roby is my first player right out of the gate that I want to be interested in. Trey Mann, Teo Maledon, Pokashevsky, all three are going to be very, very valuable pieces in the DFS space for DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever else you're playing at for DFS purposes. But over on Jock Market, something tells me Isaiah Roby might be a little bit more of the forgotten man. Currently in our projections, which are free on our site, he's got a $2.90 fair IPO price, projection around 28.63. But what's so nice about Isaiah Roby is that on a site where you lose points for shot attempts, this guy has been very, very consistent throughout this entire run as a starter. He's now started the last 5. He's played 25 plus minutes in each one. Last game, 6 for 7. We have a 5 for 12 with a 3 for 4 from 3. He's been very efficient in the shooting department, and where it's minus 0.5 for missed shot attempts, I think the big man from OKC going up against a front court of Drew Eubanks, he's a lot more athletic. He's a lot more capable. If we're getting high 20s, low 30s minutes out of him, I think he could be a very, very nice piece on the low end over on Jock Market. For my second play, we're going to get a little bit speculative here, but the Boston Celtics, they have a lot of problems going into tonight, and that's not something we've said about them very lately because they have been playing unbelievable basketball. But we just got word maybe 10 minutes ago that Robert Williams might have a torn meniscus. They're doing further evaluations, so there's no chance he's going to play tonight in Toronto. We also don't know about the status of Jason Tatum. He might not even get on the plane to go from Boston to Toronto to play in this game tonight. There are very strict regulations in Canada with COVID. If anything happens and somebody gets stuck there for weeks, it's very problematic as you get towards the end of seeding for this season. So I don't think that either one of those two main pieces are going to play. We've got Al Horford doubtful with a personal issue. That makes Jaylen Brown almost a can't-miss option in both DFS formats and over on Jock Market. I'm looking at him being a reliable piece. I project him, if you have Jason Tatum out of this rotation period, Jaylen Brown is going to be projected for more than 45 fantasy points. I'm telling you right now, he becomes the can't-miss guy from this team. He's too cheap. He's going to be probably not properly evaluated over on Jock Market, especially just because you have all these top-end studs in Jokic, Murray, Trae Young. It's weird to see Jaylen Brown, a guy who's had upside in the past, be immediately inserted into that double-digit type fair IPO price of $10 plus. But Jaylen Brown would be that guy. Be on the lookout because there is an obvious chance that he might not even travel for this game as the major number 2 piece of the Celtics team. But if he does, if he's going up there to Canada, I guarantee you he's playing big minutes to try to come back with a win. And my last play for today, let's touch on this Golden State situation where seems like everybody is going to be rested from this basketball team. They have not been playing good basketball here of late, and they're going to give Draymond Green, Otto Porter, Klay Thompson the night off. That's going to be joining Steph Curry, who's still going to continue to be out. Jordan Poole, I think, is going to get a lot of attention, as might Jonathan Kuminga, who, when you have both Draymond and Otto Porter out, becomes the guy that people realize is a pretty decent fantasy producer, around 0.9 fantasy points per minute on the season. I think he'll be a decent option if he's undervalued, but the off-the-radar pick that I think might go overlooked on Jock Market is Gary Payton II, also known as the Mitten, the greatest NBA nickname that could ever be had since his dad was the Glove. But the Mitten in this spot up against Memphis that's playing phenomenal basketball, he could get cleanup run. He could also play starters minutes. There's an opportunity for him to get both sides of the coin here in a spot where they just might not have enough healthy bodies to not have him on the floor with the likes of Damian Lee. And he's by far, amongst all of these guys, the best fantasy producer here on the season. On comparable sites, he's exactly 0.98 fantasy points per minute, nearly one. That makes him a can't miss option as well because of the ways that he can accumulate minutes in the absence of these other guards. So, yes, Jordan Poole will eat up a lot of the usage, but Gary Payton, just like his dad, has a propensity to pick up stocks in bulk. 1.4 steals per game here on the season. That makes him a phenomenal spot where he could vault up the board over on Jock Market. And those are my 3 picks for today. We've got Isaiah Roby from OKC, we've got Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, and we've got Gary Payton II from Golden State. Let me know below what you think of those picks. Obviously, news is going to be flooding in throughout the day, so catch the deeper dive and live before lock to keep apprised of all of the situations around the association. But most importantly, use promo code Awesemo, get $100 first match deposit bonus, plus $100 first market guarantee if this is your first time checking out their product. Thank you so much to Jock Market. Best of luck, everybody.